up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're talking about Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots' latest horror, comedy, mystery, science fiction, thriller film. Woo. That's Vivarium. Vivarium. Now, this was a film that I knew next to nothing about, but the trailers really interested me, and it seemed like my cup of tea. You know, something incredibly mysterious and enigmatic, seemed like such a riddling film, and I was ready to be pulled into its labyrinth, but trailers can kind of be misleading sometimes. So let's see if this film about a sojourn is as good as it appears to be, and let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, sojourn, a temporary stay in a place that is not your home. Vivarium is about a young couple who wish to find the perfect home, but instead are lured into a strange, suburban housing development that seems to be the center of a labyrinth that this couple cannot find the exit for, and they seem to be alone as nobody lives in any of the other homes. To make things worse, that's only the beginning of the curse that they find themselves in. So tell you what, I really love how this movie begins. To be more specific, I love the first act. There's a very, very specific three-act structure in this film that honestly you can't miss, as each act is split into three different sections of time. Like I said, my favorite was the first act, which was basically what I wanted out of the movie as a whole. You got the labyrinth of a suburban home that it never seems to end. You got the otherworldly atmosphere where it's not just the homes that seem strange, but everything else. The sun, the clouds in the sky, everything seems to perfect and precise, and because of it, it also seems fake. There's certainly a huge mystery here that has to be solved, and that first act is amazing at setting it up. And then the second and third act happens. I'm gonna refrain from telling you just what exactly happens that changes things up. I feel like it's a big thing, and telling you would just be a major spoiler. All I will say is that everything from here on out is just weird. It's really, really weird. I also feel like it's a bit of a letdown for the narrative too, which sets up a mystery that needs to be solved, because the second and third act isn't about these characters trying to solve that initial problem or inequity. The last two acts are about these characters dealing with another problem. Now, maybe dealing with that second problem is going to help solve the first. Maybe it won't. But even so, it's not a strong structure, because typically with a mystery like this, you got your initial inequity, and in this case, it's the housing development that never ends. And then you normally have a list of things that you're going to try to do to solve that problem. That list of things is called the obstacles, obviously. But the thing that I'm refraining from telling you about is their only obstacle. They have the rest of the movie to just deal with that thing. So as far as progress is concerned, it doesn't do anything, or it doesn't do much of anything. For a big chunk of the movie, we're not really learning anything new. We're not getting any clues as to what's actually going on. It's just one weird thing followed by another and another, like the writer of this film was high when he wrote it. So I feel like the payoff for the initial mystery is just missed potential. Now, it's almost stepping into artsy-fartsy territory, because this is an example of a film that knows a lot more about how to make a movie look pretty and unique than it knows how to tell a story, or how to introduce characters that you'll remember, or have these characters have development that is natural or organic. Because this film does look nice in that synthetic way a creepy suburban town looks in movies like this. The camera work is smooth and adds to that feeling of discomfort. A lot of what's happening behind the scenes is actually pretty decent. But like I said, the story isn't really there. The characters are mostly forgettable and flat, and there's hardly any development, which is actually surprising given just how much screen time everybody gets. This is not a cast-heavy film, so there's a ton of individual screen time for each character, which is mostly wasted, and because the mystery is mostly disregarded, it's almost like the reason to watch this movie is only for the artsy-fartsy stuff, the technical stuff, and to me, that's just disappointing. So let's go ahead and break down that final score. Those technical and artsy-fartsy stuff, they're all handled very well, like I mentioned. And from a technical perspective, I'd give this a score of 62%, but a lot of this film is something that I consider to be extremely underwhelming, so my bias score is 44%. That averages everything out to a final score of 53%. 53 out of 100 possible stars, which of course is an F score. I expected a lot more, but I'd like to hear what you guys thought, if you had any expectations, and most importantly, how the film met those expectations. Let me know below. As for YouTube, you know what to do. If you like this review, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, because there's more like it coming out. Hit the thumbs up button, because it always helps on my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon, because that'll help notify you when I come out with the next review. And until then, peace out!